Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and this is my daily ramble. Almost through. Well, we're through the international break. The internationals have now stopped, so all the players should either be back or on their way back to the country to get and meet up with the players so we can get ready for the game at the weekend. As always, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, drop a like on the video, and if you like your tea and coffee, head over to the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. Use our discount code Claret15, get 15% off. Link is in the description. Right, well, look, before we get into the game at the weekend, I want to address something about Thomas Soucek. Okay, because you will remember, and you will have seen it everywhere anyway, 8 months, 10 weeks ago, 8 months, 8 weeks, 10 weeks ago, we got told, so we told you lot, that Thomas Soucek had signed his new deal. Then it broke, all the main ITKs got the same information. They Sean, Huey Southern, as he's affectionately known. Not by me. Never spoke to him. They all broke the same story, and they've been running with that the whole way through. That Thomas Soucek has signed his deal. It's done. This was ages ago, like properly ages ago. Didn't think no more of it. Could understand why at the time maybe they didn't reveal it, because when they gave him his contract, it was at the start of the season. He hadn't yet gone on this decent run that he's had, which means that all that we would have had to have gone off would have been the previous 18 months of shit form. Wouldn't have excited anyone. I kind of get it. But 10 weeks? It's been running too long now. It's been running too long. And we know that there were issues. We do know that much, because they were trying to either sort of sell Soucek or get him to sign a contract or do something, anything to avoid us losing him for nothing, which is what we would do, because he's only got he's got a year left on his contract, less than a year. In January, he can agree a pre-contract with an overseas club, i.e. Inter Milan, who are currently interested in him, or they can pick him up for peanuts, because that's what they can do to you when you're in that sort of situation. So, yeah, we just thought nothing of it, because I think from a fan's perspective, even like him, loathe him, whatever else, it's not exciting. They're not going to put it up in lights like they did with Jared Bowen. Thomas Soucek signs new deal. It's like a new signing. They're not going to do that, are they? But they should still announce it. I mean, if you're Thomas Soucek, you'd start, especially when you see the fanfare around Jared Bowen with his new deal, you might think to yourself, well, what's going on here? What are they thinking? It's just Thomas. No one cares. I'm sure they don't. They always reveal it in the end officially, and they have, as yet, they haven't revealed anything through official channels. They're just using their favoured sources. Hugh on Claret and Hugh, they've kind of come back again, and they've poo-pooed the bid from Inter Milan, saying no chance. We're not selling him in January. He's under contract. Blah blah blah. We've had the same from other people as well. I think they're all refuting these claims. So all the ITKs, I'm assuming they've checked and they've double checked. This is from the horse's mouth. This is from, so they're saying, the player's side, from the agent's side. Everyone's saying it's a done deal, but there's no official announcement. Why is that? Why would that be? That doesn't make any sense. It's obviously bothering the club that Soucek's being linked elsewhere, enough for them to kind of let people know, no, he has signed a deal. Why go to all that bother? Quick email to the West Ham media department. I'll fucking let everyone know he's signed a 4-year contract, will ya? That's all they got to do, but they haven't done it. Why haven't they done it? I don't get it. Something weird's happening. Or it might not be. But it is odd, though, isn't it? It is odd. You've got to admit. I mean, maybe there is an issue. Maybe it's smoke and mirrors. Maybe it's the old razzle-dazzle from old Sully. Because he knows they've missed a boat on a contract. Thomas Soucek maybe isn't interested. Maybe he's got a sniff, got a whiff that there's a couple of clubs that would be interested in him. He's in the shop window, hence his form was uplifted. Not that I'm cynical. And yeah, I don't know. But it does. They could easily stop all of this. This is what doesn't make any sense with West Ham. Why would you hold on to that information? It was like 2 days after he signed his contract. Jared Bowen, official channels, fucking podcasts, everything else. It's all announced. But Thomas Soucek, nothing. All you've got are third-party ITKs who are going to have serious mud on their face if this doesn't go as it should do. I mean, maybe he hasn't signed. It's just there, and it's kind of, it's as good as signed, which means it hasn't been signed. I don't know. I don't know. I've been saying I don't know a lot on this one because I don't know. I ain't got a clue. Listen, I don't really care. I don't want to lose Thomas Soucek on a free transfer. That would be mad. I think Thomas Soucek is still a valuable asset to a team that want to play in a certain way. He's a goal-scoring midfielder. In the form that he's currently in, he's in the right age bracket. He never gets injured. You've got to be looking at 20 to 30 million for him. So you don't want to lose him on a free transfer. No one wants to pour or piss 30 million down the toilet for no reason. You wouldn't do it. So I'm assuming they're doing all they can, if they haven't got him to sign a contract yet, to get him to sign a contract. But we know that what the sticking point was that Soucek wanted 100 grand a week, and we were flat refusing to offer him that. You know, so I don't believe that we have offered him 100 grand a week. By the way, I think he has been farmed out in the last 2 or 3 windows. We've been trying to get him a move, but nobody will pay him that type of money. So I'm assuming we've kind of offered him something that's palatable to us, and is palatable now to him. But as yet, until it's confirmed by West Ham, it's not confirmed. It's unconfirmed. This is like 8 weeks, 10 weeks. It's mad. All they've got to do is just put this to bed. It's a bit of a weird one. Inter Milan coming in for him, innit? I mean, who would put those two fucking together? Inter Milan and Soucek. So it makes you think maybe there is something in that, because who would pair Inter Milan to Soucek? Seriously, you wouldn't. Which, again, it does make you wonder, is there something in it? But it is silly season. We're coming up to the bloody transfer window again. So obviously, off the back of that, the lazy journalism, we're seeing the same links rehashed. I almost spat me tea out when I saw a link to McTominay again. Now, look, McTominay ain't a bad player, but hang on. 60 million we could get him for. The bargain price of 60 million. Could you imagine? 9 million more than Paqueta. I mean, come on. Like I said, he's not shit, but you're looking at less than half of 60 million. 25 million, I'd go on McTominay, and I think you got yourself a decent player. Not a great player, a decent player. 60 million is great player money, especially for West Ham. You know, we're not Man City. We don't go spending 50, 60 million on fucking bench players. You spend that much money on someone, they've got to come in and change everything about what you're doing. So, Scott McTominay, no. Seen the links to Harry Maguire, not covering it, don't want him. Slabhead, fuck off. I'm sorry. I've got, it's nothing personal, but no thanks. No thanks. We can get far more for less. We can, in terms of transfer fee and bloody wages. Don't want you. I'm sure David Moyes does, but I bloody don't. So, I know it's nothing to do with me, but this is my opinion. My opinion is, don't want him, don't want to talk about him. I thought we'd put that to bed. Go away, Harry Maguire. Right, moving on to the weekend. We've got Aston Villa. We face Aston Villa. They've got a few injuries, as Newcastle did when we faced them. We are fit and firing. We have got a few players that are arriving back late from international duty, as Alvarez and Kudus will be arriving back. Not late. I mean, it's 4:30 on a Sunday, isn't it? So it's not stupid time. But, so they'll have a day or so with a team, with a team training. So, yeah, I don't see any issues with that. But we don't have any sort of real injuries to speak of at the moment. We're fit, we're firing. We've gone into the international break, with our towels up, as Aston Villa have as well. I mean, they're 10 games unbeaten at home. So this is not going to be easy going away to Villa. I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out. We probably will do a dedicated preview video for the Aston Villa game, but I am happy that football is back. And if we do somehow manage to get a result from Villa, it'll be a fantastic result. Honestly, they are a team in form. They are fifth. This is a bit of a 6-pointer for teams in that top 6, top 7, top 8. As I mentioned the other day, you can get European football if you finish 8th, as long as things line up properly in the league this year. But no, it's going to be an interesting one. How are we going to cope with the double threat of Diaby and Watkins, who always bloody scores? He's in good form at the moment. And Diaby, what a signing. The old Tim Stuyton player. He plucked him from nowhere, and Leverkusen sold him to Villa. Very, very good player. Very, very quick, very tricky. It could suit us. I'm assuming, not going to talk about the starting lineup. You know what the starting lineup's going to be. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. All right? We know how we're going to play. We know how we're going to set up. It might work against Villa. It's not how I would play. But, it could work. They play a high line. If we play a counter-attacking game and they haven't got their shooting boots on and don't convert any of the 56 chances that they get against us in the first half an hour, we could smash and grab and get a win. I reckon we could. You know, love to see Kudus get in the team, but we all know that ain't going to happen. That means dropping either Mickey or even worse, Soucek. Can't drop Soucek, you know. He's done fuck all else, but he scored 2 goals in 2 games, you know, just recently. You know, I mean, the first half of the last game, 8 passes in the first half with a 33% success rate. People are telling me he's having a great game. Jesus. Seriously. Honestly. Kudus did more in 15 minutes than Soucek did in the previous 2 games combined. There's no comparisons. Kudus is an attacking central player. Soucek's taking his place because Soucek is playing as almost a number 10 now. He's a box crasher. Yes, he's scoring goals. Are you telling me Kudus wouldn't? We've seen with our own eyes that Kudus can score from deep. He delays his runs. He makes late runs into the box. Fair enough. You ain't got to fucking smash him in the air so that Soucek can get his head on them. Put him on the floor for him. There you go. Problem solved. And you got a tricky player that can create as well. A wonderful player. So Kudus has got to come in. Me personally, people are going to scream and shout at me. I would stick with Antonio up front because Moyes will play the Moyes way, which means that you have to have Antonio because without Antonio, that system doesn't work. Do I think we should have better than Antonio by now? Yes. Yeah, I do. But we don't have anyone else that can do that Antonio role. There's literally no one. There's no one that can do it. Kudus can't. If we played Kudus in the Antonio role for the first 70 minutes of a game, left him up there on his own while we're hoofing balls to him, we'd all be calling Kudus shit in 3 games. Send him back, would be saying to him. Because that is not an easy job that Antonio has to do. He just causes mayhem up there. Even if he's playing shit and he ain't finishing, he's causing trouble, which is what he's there for, you know. So I would play Antonio. I would drop Soucek. I would put Kudus in. Job done. That's what I would do. But it don't really matter what I say, what I think. We all know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen, like I said earlier on. No surprises. There's never any surprises. But hopefully the result will be a nice surprise. You know, won't hold my breath. But as I've said, I'm not confident for the game, but I am looking forward to it. You know, Newcastle went a bit better than what I anticipated, so you never know. This one, it could be good. It could be good. Cement our place in that sort of top 8. It'd be good. All right, okay, going to let you go. Very quick one. See you later. Come on, you irons.